We are all born brave, trusty, and greedy. And wherever there's power, greed, and money, there certainly will be corruption. Let the greed cease. Nigeria is a great country blessed with rich human, economic, cultural, and natural resources with diverse culture, heritage, and people. But unfortunately, the greed of our political class and people makes the country look poor and incapable of taking care of herself. Imagine the current Senate President, Akpabio, ditto many of his colleagues at the National Assembly, is a former governor, a former senator, a former minister. Yet, he wants to spend 40 billion naira to buy new bulletproof vehicles for himself and principal officers. I beg, help me ask him. After holding all these various offices, now vehicle him never get before when he go waste our lean resources at this hard time on. Is there a principal officer in the National Assembly when we get SUV? This official greed must stop. Federal and state government will purchase new vehicles when we know they produce for ministers, commissioners, traditional rulers, political aides across board, and of course, allowances and extra code will be collected. We never hear anybody now they reject, no party, including those that want to rescue Nigeria. This our collective greed must cease for the poor to breathe. We remove subsidy from petroleum products as a result of fraud and proper implementation. Yet, not one single person in NNPC or across the value chain is held accountable for this monumental failure, fraud, and no concrete plans to ensure that our refineries are producing, even as the workers are being paid salaries daily, though for no fault of theirs, you will say. Yet, government is promising hope in the long run. I don't know how though, but I do know that if the greed in government doesn't cease, the poor will never breathe. A former minister deceives the entire country with a rebranded airline belonging to another country, claiming it is Air Nigeria or Nigeria Air, without consequences, and you expect those coming into government not to be wasteful or see government as an avenue for corruption? Certainly, the greed in government has to cease. A former CBN governor, while serving the cabal that aided his reappointment, turned the central bank into a personal estate at the detriment of the public he was supposed to serve. Yet today he's holding a Bible because he's on trial as though he knows God before. Yet the same poor that bore the brunt of his ineptitude are insulting one another over his continuous incarceration. As the DSS and the prison correctional facility personnel are fighting themselves over his custody. I laugh in my language. You can call it greed, jam, lawlessness. You are definitely right. But should it continue? If you agree, say no, it must cease. But unfortunately, the eyes have it. Governors across party lines can hardly fix roads, but they are quick to buy bulletproof vehicles to navigate the same road they refuse to fix, even as the follower hail them. Hey, my leader, sir, my chair, sir. Look at Governor Obaseki of Edo State, shamelessly trapped in the traffic caused by bad road and rainfall. Is that not greed that the poor must cease for them to breathe? But unfortunately, these same poor and followers are more concerned about political appointment as compensation for support and work done during campaign than opportunity to serve and enhance the well-being of the people. A lot of people are waiting to be included in the ministerial list, the commissioner, special advisor, special assistant, special advisor to special assistant, or board appointment list, as many will take out paid advert to celebrate political appointment rather than tax such appointees to deliver on promises made during the campaign. Let it be known that it is this our collective attitude that fanned the embers of greed in our society. And if it doesn't cease, the poor can never breathe. Despite the shortage of police personnel, their poor remuneration, and the poor general insecurity in the country, more than half of our policemen and women are providing security for only the rich, politicians, their families, associates, and even girlfriends. Imagine a policeman go hold gun, they stand for door, they wait for Oga where they get good time with side chick. Oh my show. Yet, majority of our policemen are ill-equipped to provide proper police service to the rest of us. Even as some policemen barely even understand the functions of the police, while others harass innocent young people daily. I yet say this greed must cease for the poor to breathe. With the new policies of the current administration, the poor in the country who rely on the greed of the rich to survive can now hardly breathe. But rather than government and our personnel cutting costs to plow into critical sector and infrastructure, We are seeing more spending and compensation for government officials and politically exposed people. And unfortunately, those shouting, "Let the poor breathe," are also waiting to join the political chopping gang. We must all stop this greed of the rich, aided by the poor mentality. I will therefore advocate our government cannot continue to invest our resources in foreign goods and expect increase in foreign trade reserve or strengthening of our local currency or economy. Nigeria must buy Nigeria. Government cannot ask the poor to bear the hardship or consequences of economic policies for future benefit. Yet this same government refused to bear, the same hardship, even as its officials continue in their regular ostentatious wastage, lifestyle, and reckless behavior. Government must take concerted and realistic measures to fight wastages, melt out appropriate sanctions for ineptitude and prevent inefficiency, while cutting down cost of governance as a way of showing understanding with the reality of our people, who are suffering the consequences of their policies. The poor also cannot be shouting and complaining about hardship and the need to cut down on the cost of governance, and at the same time, stylishly hoping for opportunity to go steal from government or defraud the next or suspecting neighbor. Something has to give for everyone to breathe. Until we collectively stop the greed in our society, the rich and the political class will continue to breathe at the detriment of the poor. Anyway, let me off my mic here as we urge you to follow us on all our social media platforms showing on your screen, and we expect your feedback. And like our people say, cut suya for me, na cow body they go. Any irresponsible spending by government, now our collective words they go. Let the greed cease. See you next week.